Let's get into this recap and review of X-Men 97, episode 6. Polaris came out the gate swinging. I don't care. I don't care. I loved her having this episode focus on her, who she was, not just as a mutant, but as a person, and of course, the daughter of Magneto. So after that little stunt she pulled with the terrorists and things, and she got fired from X Factor, which, boop, deuces, who cares, Val? I don't care what you got to say, and just make sure that last check clear. Before we continue with Polaris' story, let me talk about the fact that Professor Xavier had Danger Room running a simulation with him reliving over and over and over again Magneto's death. And I get it. It was supposed to be this therapeutic exercise to help him deal with the grief of losing his best friend right in front of him and learn to live in this world without him. But Danger Room kind of took that a little literal because she was like, you want more? Huh? You want to get stronger? Bet. And so the simulation started to become real, where Apocalypse head started crushing Xavier. And he like, stop. What? Where are the safety protocol? Enough. And right there, it was foreshadowing what was going to happen later on. So Polaris gets to the X-Mansion where she is reunited with all her friends from childhood, Jean, Scott, Storm, all of the works. And in between that, we see Storm was made the head mistress of the X-Mansion, which, congratulations, but also I'm side-eyeing it because it feels like y'all just gonna use this as another way to sideline her. In the wake of Professor's grief and, wanting to connect with Magneto, well, he called him Magnus, he decides to go to Genosha because he hasn't been there, so he wants to go back and just be in that space and just reminisce and really reflect on what has happened and where he and the team need to go for the future and the betterment of mankind as it relates to their relationship with mutant kind. So while that's going on Genosha, back at the mansion, the kids, the new mutants, they were doing something in the Danger Room where one of their friends got hurt and he ended up needing to be revived with a defibrillator. So Storm charges up Bishop and he brings him back. The front gate alarm is triggered, so Storm, Forge, and Bishop go to check that out. But while they're away, the Danger Room traps Polaris, Bishop, and the kids in the Danger Room. And the Danger Room was like, oh yeah, it's time to get y'all ready, huh? Professor wanted to make sure y'all can live in a world without Magneto. I'm going to show you what it's like. And she started putting a whooping on them. And then she purposely triggered Polaris because, Polaris right now is in a vulnerable state, borderline with her emotions. Like, just everything ain't going the way she needs to go. She's just trying to figure herself out. And so she really targets her and gets her to unleash all of this power, which is what she needs in order to form this new body and just be referred to as Danger. By the time Storm didn't get there, Danger then hopped in a jet shot and flew on to Genosha to go take out Professor Xavier because she said, I'm about to handle you and about to show you what you've been preparing for, that you ain't ready for it. So Scott and Jean try to stop her as she's coming. They even do the little cool move where Jean does the little Wolverine claws and Cyclops blasts through there, and it's like a little aerial blast. It don't stop her though. It was cool for what it was. It don't stop her. She takes them out very easily. And she yokes up Professor Xavier, but then he used his little... But shout out to Beast. He's able to escape from his chair. And holds her off a little bit. He knocked her out with that chair. But she comes back and she had a hatchet with her this time. And she grabs him and she get ready to nick his head off. But Polaris grabs it and start and tearing her up. Right? And grabs her. But then, in the midst of her talking, she frees herself, knocks Polaris back out. But then here comes Jean, with the telekinetic vortex to contain Danger. But unfortunately, the energy from the vortex was being used by Danger to heal herself from the damage that Polaris gave. But then that's when she realizes, well, not yet, but Professor's like, hey, we have all the power we need. You, Lorna, you are what we need. And it's okay. You have to let go, unleash all the power. And Bishop was like, I'll catch the back spill of, whatever is the residual power, I'll capture it to make sure nobody else is hurt. Because that's what she was afraid of, hurting people like she did the kids back at the mansion. And so Professor uses his powers to share a bit of her father with her, and we start seeing the scenes from Genosha. We see the scenes from all the season 1, right up until he perishes, Magneto, that is. And this unlocks Polaris's powers, her full potential, by connecting with her dad and realizing that he is a part of her and that it's okay. And so she unleashes this wave of electromagnetic energy that tears Danger apart. And the day is saved. And then they end with her and Professor both like, I felt it, my father. I did too, them coming together in that regard and bonding from that shared experience. And then ultimately we end with Professor announcing X Corp. He's establishing his headquarters over there on Genosha to pave a new way for mutants to impact the world. Well, his X-Man, that is, outside of the jurisdiction of the government. And of course, Hayden, Valerie Cooper got something to say, but we're going to see where that takes us. So to rate this episode, I would give this episode a 7.5 out of 10. Again, I enjoyed all things Polaris in this episode. I didn't like how they kind of, again, sidelined Storm, making her the headmistress. And then when they wanted to go intervene and help stop Danger, Forge was like, oh, we can't, because we gonna get our funding pulled and the school gonna get shut down because the government don't let us do nothing anymore type deal. Did not like that. I can't stand Valerie Cooper, so she messed up the episode for me too. But I would have liked them to expand more in Danger and give her a little bit more room to breathe and to really build up why she was such a danger. No pun intended. But ultimately, it was a really good episode. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. Leave a like, leave a comment, and follow if you want more. All right, bye.